Hi lovelies, thanks for checking out my next installment in my Project Life process videos. Starting off going through some of my embellishments. So I've got my wood veneers out. Just going through to find a couple of little pieces I might want to use. And then got my 3D embellishments out. Having a look through there, which I hardly ever use to be honest, but I try. This big box has all my flat paper type embellishments that I've cut up or sorted out of the ephemera packs. Kind of grouped into different categories as you can see there. Kind of grabbing that little bowl and just putting in some items that I think I might be able to use. So I'm playing around with these photos. I cut out a whole heap of stuffing around with these photos. I think I've stuck them down and pulled them off, and starting again here. That's why the photo's a bit crumpled. Just putting it onto some white cardstock or the back of an old card, I think. Attaching the journaling card, and you'll see me manually round the corners with the scissors because I've chucked my Becky Higgins corner rounder in the bin because the black mat on the bottom has melted off and doesn't cut corners properly, so no longer in my possession. Using these Dear Lizzie gold foam alpha figures here. OMG. Hit his head and I think he'd hit his head for the second time that weekend. The first side you can see there's a little mark on the right hand side, and we've got a couple of stairs down into our laundry, and he was kind of coming up and down then and just mucking around and somehow managed to fall and hit his head. I'm not sure whether it was on the baby gate or the stairs, but big egg, so journaled about that. Now I'm just moseying through my tiny word stickers. Lots there to look at. I've chopped out a whole heap of this as well, so you didn't have to watch too much, but still trying to show a bit of my stash and how I use it, I guess. You know, quite often the big sticker sheets you get from different collections, if they've got, you know, maybe a section full of tiny words, once I've done with that sticker sheet, I tend to cut off that part and put it with this, so I have all my tiny word stickers together in the hope that I might use them. So I'm just grabbing off words as I see them and just sticking them on my hand there. And gluing down that vellum heart, that was from I think it was the 7 paper vellum heart pack, which I ended up buying from Whitney in the US from her Etsy store. After watching one of her videos, she had mentioned that she still had some in her shop, so grabbed a pack of them. I think she's Modern Wit is her YouTube channel. Just putting some tiny word stickers. That little photo is so cute of my nephew. I've covered him up, but he's got his finger out pointing at the camera, so it's very, very cute. And just seeing what other stickers I can put on for interest's sake. I do have trouble adding ephemera and things to photos. Sometimes I just want to leave the photos, so I really have to try and push myself to use some of what I have, otherwise it just sits there. So really trying to pull out some more orange, I guess, to add some more orange to the layout, but just doesn't seem to work. So that one says hashtag loving this, so appropriate for a photo there of my sons playing together. So nice to see them now that my youngest is a bit older and I guess a bit more interactive and curious as to what his older brother does, and you know, happy to sit on things if he gets pushed around and stuff like that. So it's nice to see their friendship evolve. interact a bit more. So I found another little tiny word sticker. I think that one's kisses or something like that. I think it says, yeah, kisses. His big egg on his head. So I think I keep looking for a little bit, but I don't think I use any more. So I've moved on to the top photo that was in the right hand corner. Beautiful little photo of my youngest. We're just at the front. I think we just said goodbye to Grammy, and she had taken my oldest for the day, and it was just before the little one was going down for a sleep and I would go to work, so taking a few happy snaps while he was happy. Playing around with this gold washi tape in the wood veneer, and then I decide I don't like the gold, so try and peel it off without ripping the photo. Searching for something else. Trusty old favourite labels that I cut apart, the ones from Caitlin Schaefer, I think that's how you say her name. You can find them on Pinterest and the internet. I'm pretty sure you can cut them out with your silhouette, but to be honest I just fussy cut them unless it's cut up and ready to go. I often can't be bothered to use a silhouette, which is really slack. I should get it out and use it more often. Rub off the little sticky mark it left on the photo, having a think about what to do, playing around with the label and positioning it, fluffing around for a while. Sorry about the camera shake. I think my son's probably coming in and asking for something to eat or playing with stuff to the side. So just a couple of little words here. I really do like that photo, just simple works for me. Just playing around with the wood embellishments there to find that took my fancy. Stick it down with whatever I've got on hand. Usually always just use glue tape for everything. And I did try and run these alphas vertically down the photo, but it didn't fit. So just going to put it across the bottom, put some washi tape down first, and then lay those white alphas over the top. Give them something to pop off a little bit, since that carpet's quite a neutral colour. Super cute photo. My son and my nephew giving the youngest a kiss on his head. Just taped out the faces for privacy, given that one of the children is not mine. Don't like to put everyone on YouTube. Just playing around with the alignment there. And that black washi tape's just got white arrows and kind of symbols on it. Card's done. Grab the top left card and just put a pen line border around it. Do a few strokes of the pen so that it's not one messy crooked line. It looks like it's meant to be like that if you go over it a few times. Sometimes I draw one line all the way around and keep going, other times I just do one side at a time, backwards and forwards a few times. I think that way actually looks neater, but I don't always remember to do it like that. And the combination of square borders and round borders doesn't worry me. I really pay that much attention to when I'm looking through the photos. Probably looks neater to be all the same, but it's not what the photo album's about, so it doesn't worry me. And just wrote not loving this, or hashtag not loving this on that photo to match the sticker on the other side. Moving on to the right hand side of the layout. I didn't realise the camera didn't film me doing the first card, which has hashtag epic on it. Just a photo of the ACD concert that my hubby and I went to. The card already had those gold arrows and foil there. Sorry about the camera shake. So I like to add white as photo mats on my layouts. I think it helps to keep it fresh and light and give the photos a bit of breathing room, I guess, between each other. So I just use my American Crafts cardstock and cut it down to size. And then it also helps when I'm using 3x4 items in the 6x4 pocket spaces. So I'm just going to adhere these down. Stuff around and think, oh, I better check it fits, because sometimes, you know, the pockets aren't always true to size, or when I cut things it's not always true to size, and I think I'm working on the back side of it, so I'm trying to slip it in the back, and then I realise actually it can go in the front. So some of my previous videos I've tried to cut a lot more of this fluffing around out, but thought I'd just leave a little bit in so you can see it doesn't all fall into place perfectly. Just trimming the photos so it has a similar white border around it, and sometimes I use my paper trimmer, sometimes I use my scissors. Just whatever I reach for, really, no particular rhyme or reason to it. I don't think either option gives me a true straight edge, so it probably doesn't matter. Just one of those random photos of my son with pegs on his toes before bed, as you do when you're 5. So I'm looking forward to in future years when I guess he's a teenager and looks through these photo albums and sees all the random stuff he did as a 5-year-old or younger. I think it'd be pretty funny. So that one's done. Now we're just moving across to the next one and doing the same thing, matting them down onto a 6x4 card. So a photo of my youngest there sitting at the table. Not sure if he was doing anything in particular, but part of everyday life. So just trimming that down again. I think I'll be aiming to have a small white border around the photo again. I don't tend to bother too much with getting the borders on in my, photo software or printing setup, because it doesn't always work. Like that photo of my youngest on the previous page up in the top right, that worked well, but I find that often the borders are not, they're a little bit off. So I just prefer to, if I want the white border on it, I prefer to mat it onto white cardstock. During this part, just going to journal about my husband and his fish in that photo. That is a jewfish, or otherwise known as mulloway, I think in the southern parts of Australia. Jewfish, we caught that in the Broadwater here at Southport. Husband sits in the seaway, he goes out of the seaway and gets some live bait, and then he comes back into the seaway and sits over a pipe that's in the seaway there and fishes for these jewfish, which are beautiful to eat, lovely white firm flesh, and as you can see, quite large, so you get quite a few fillets out of it. So quite often hand a few fillets fish around to our neighbours and take some to our parents. Stick some in the freezer. Beautiful, just lightly fried up with some breadcrumbs. Done a few fish curries as well, and it's just really beautiful fish to eat and cook with. Holds its shape quite well. Anyway, that was the first fish of the season, so my husband was pretty stoked to pull that one in a good size as well. So that one's for the books. So just sticking the label in that way. I didn't like the way it looked with the label going horizontal across his legs and cutting my hubby off, so playing around now with this filler card. And these are 2 pieces from the Messy Box kits from A Beautiful Mess. I've used a few of these cards in this month's layouts. I'm trying to use up the cards. I had a subscription. I wasn't a big fan of the boxes, to be honest, over the 6 months that I got them. So I pulled out the pieces that I like, and I've sold some of it, and I've got some more to get rid of as well. Just not really my style. Working on a photo now of my youngest having a sleep. The room he's in, it's got a sliding door, so I can quietly open it and take a photo, which I missed out with my youngest. His room, the door makes a noise, kind of the paint sticks, I guess, and you can hear when that door opens, and I never want to risk waking him up. So, but yeah, I love getting photos of them when they're sleeping. It's just beautiful and innocent. So tiny. And sometimes I take a photo and look, he's all stretched out. Look how long he is. But the majority of those photos, my hubby and I, and the concert photo and ACD ticket, we bought my husband tickets for Father's Day to go to the concert, and he decided to take me with his spare ticket. What a good hubby. So there's a photo of us at the mother-in-law's place when we're dropping the kids off, and a photo of us in our ponchos because it was pouring rain right up until ACD started. So we were standing there drinking our half-strength bourbons in the rain, getting raindrops in them and watering them down even further. It's been a while since we've done that together. So I've this layout only just stopped recently breastfeeding the bub, so it was nice to get out and do some adulting. Just adding a few final touches. Little wood veneer heart. And I grab the photo of hubby and I and just give that a trim down and mat it on some white cardstock, and then I bring and missed the ACDC ticket card. I just did some journaling there and stuck it down, putting some enamel dots on, and that's it. So thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.